That is just everything I crave on a daily basis. Yeah. Have you decided if you want a home birth? Do you think you'd ever go back to working a 9 to 5? Do you still have sex whilst pregnant? I'm not sure how it works. Do you think Mila can sense that you're pregnant?
Either that or like she just hates the fact Carys is pregnant. Because I think more than ever, she's like trying to jump on Carys' stomach.
Hello guys and welcome back to our channel. So I've just set out a banquet of all my pregnancy cravings and I'm just called James down to his marvellous pregnancy craving banquet. I'm so proud of myself. Literally everything's gone cold because I'm just the worst cook. I say cook, I've literally got chips and toast and stuff that isn't really cooking. But nonetheless, half of it has gone cold because my timings are shocking when it comes to cooking anything. But this is literally sums up, I'll go through it as we go, as we eat our way through it, summing up all of my pregnancy cravings so far during this pregnancy. Are you ready?
Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh my goodness, cheesy chips! Oh my gosh!
Wow, that was like unenthusiastic. Oh wow! Oh wow!
This is like the most random.
Wow. Well, that's what this mukbang is, a pregnancy craving. It wasn't going to be a simple 3-course meal, was it? It was going to be very random cravings.
You know what? This is so your cravings though.
Yeah, this is literally sums me up, isn't it?
Yeah, soup, toast.
So we've got to have a bag of pommes bears.
It's the starter.
They have to go in the soup.
What? Do you actually pour them into the soup?
Yeah, one of my favourite things to do is to
what?
Have tomato soup, which is what I've made for us here.
Oh, you've made this?
I've made this with my loving hands.
From a tin of Heinz?
Loving tin of Heinz tomato soup. And then I'll pour some of my pommes bears in there. And then I'll also break up my baby bell and put little bits in there as well.
Do you know what? I could be wrong, but I don't think I've ever tasted a baby bell.
What? Honestly, I've not had a baby bell since I was like, in primary school or something crazy. And then as soon as I got pregnant, I just craved baby bells. Like, why? They're just like fake bad cheese, but
I don't know if I've ever had. How do you open it? Just peel.
That is just so good.
Do you just eat it?
And pommes bears. Yeah, just bite into it. How have you not had a baby bell?
It's a bit like stringy cheese, which I've never really had. It's nice.
Let's dig in, our tomato soup's going to be cold. I cooked it like an hour ago. It's literally freezing.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to dip in my toast.
Oh, the toast is definitely cold. Oh. That was done like first.
That's okay, cold toast you can get away with it. Into cold soup. Well, that's going to warm your heart, isn't it?
That is just everything I crave on a daily basis.
To be fair, I think there's nothing better than buttery sourdough dipped into tomato soup. That is delightful.
With a pommes bear.
So, is this still kind of what you're going for? Like,
yeah.
This is what you're still eating, isn't it, really? Yeah.
It's all I'm craving. I crave a lot of cheese.
Oh, quite normal, is it?
Ooh. The only thing I haven't got here is orange juice, but I didn't really feel like that would go with. Another thing I crave hugely is orange juice.
Carys has a small glass of orange juice every morning without fails, and we never drank orange juice before.
No, I never have.
No.
Cheesy stuff I'm just obsessed with. I don't know where that came from. And cheesy chips is one of my obsessions.
I'm actually really enjoying this.
Really?
This is absolutely amazing.
It's good, isn't it? Just like tomato soup and carbs.
Can you dip these?
Yeah.
You just can't taste the pommes at all. It's just like crunchy soup.
I love it. It just adds a bit of crunch to the soup.
And then what, with the baby bell, can you dip that in?
Yeah, it's just like having cheese in your soup. So you just like break a bit of baby bell.
So yeah, you put some grated cheese sometimes.
Yeah. Well, no, I just put like
really
grated baby bell. Oh gosh, I feel like I need to spread out. Spread out so I can just eat this all at once. I did also get some questions to answer. It's always fun to do questions while we're doing a mukbang. I feel like, why do I always...
It's just fun to eat during a mukbang.
I know, that's the thing though. I always think questions are going to be fun and then I just really actually just want to eat everything in sight. Especially during this mukbang. This is like my mukbang of dreams. I'm just going to put ketchup.
So would you honestly prefer this than like, Five Guys mukbangs and
yeah, defo. Right now, yeah.
I love chips and gravy.
The life.
Chips and gravy is just the one anyway. It doesn't... Chips, cheese and gravy is meant to be good. It's what they eat up north, I think.
Oh.
I could be wrong, but
well, there we go. Look, chips, cheese, gravy.
Let's try it.
Oh my gosh, that is spectacular. Really sorry if I'm eating with my mouth open, I always do. Really bad at that. Still doing it right now while saying that.
Okay. It's good. We should put some cheese on this.
Yeah, it is good. Put a baby bell on it. Oh my gosh, this is the best mukbang ever.
But I think it'd be good putting the cheese on first, and then you put the gravy on it and melt the cheese.
Nice.
That would have been good, wouldn't it?
That would have been good. Let's do some questions as we nom our way through this.
So hit us with your best questions.
Okay, so first question. Yeah. Have you decided if you want a home birth? So, we spoke a little bit about discussing home birth in a recent vlog, so now loads of people are just wondering what our thoughts are on that at the moment. We had really positive, recommendation of home birthing from loads of people and midwives and stuff like that, and then we went to one of our oh my gosh. So yes, home births. We were definitely thinking of a home birth, especially with everything going on at the moment with COVID. And we spoke to some midwives and they had a really good recommendation of doing a home birth and everything like that. And then we spoke to our doctor at the last scan, and he was just saying that basically the biggest risk with home birthing is apparently to do with your pelvis. You don't know if your pelvis is going to be big enough to birth your baby, apparently, until you're literally birthing it. So there could be a really last minute complication where the baby's just stuck and it won't come out. And that's just to do with your pelvis shape, and you could be rushed for an emergency C-section. And I think knowing that exact reason that could happen, and I was asking about how common that is and blah, 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 and it's just random, you just don't know. So I think knowing that specific example, I feel a little bit more, I
love how you were mid-sentence and just thought, I'm just going to take a bite of chips here. I think but kind of going into asking people's opinions, we did know there was this kind of doctors being midwife thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think because doctors only really get seen during pregnancy if there's a problem, when obviously midwives see so many positive pregnancies.
That's right.
I think it's so I think everything you do, you have to take with a pinch of salt. So I think we take that info from the doctor, and when we see the midwife next, or when you see the midwife, I think it's good to bring that up, because also it might be a case of the technology's moved on now, and kind of what they do is moved on, and they might go, oh no, that's not the case. We'll be able to tell hours before you give birth whether your pelvis would be able to cope.
Exactly.
And then we can go from there. So I don't think it's a case of the doctor said that we're not doing it.
Yeah.
It's a case of good, we really appreciate that opinion and that kind of advice. Let's go and talk to other people about it and see what they say.
So that's what we're going to do. Because
it's a difficult thing in terms of even midwives and doctors and people within the profession. The kind of the statistics are there and the science is there. But then ultimately it comes to viewing the statistics and science and you deciding what's best. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because home births are good for some reasons and hospital births are good for other reasons. So it's kind of even they're slightly more opinionated.
Yeah. So there's no correct, 100% correct solution. It's literally down to person and taking in all the information and deciding what's right. Yeah. I would love to do a home birth, and they do say it's just for the first baby. After you've had a first baby, the second, third, however many more are much easier to do at home or safer. Even if I don't do this one at home, I'm definitely going to do the other ones at home. Probably, I'd say definitely, probably. Again, it depends on what type of pregnancy you have, whether you're risk-free, whether all this and blah blah blah.
How the first birth goes.
Absolutely.
Ends in an emergency section.
So I'm just open to both, and I'm being excited for both. Yes. I'm really excited if I go into the hospital and have it in hospital. It's a new environment. It'll be fun. It'll be great.
It would highly likely be midwife-led. The way we're going with the pregnancy is there's absolutely no issues. It should be a very straightforward birth. So the way we're going, it would be midwife-led in the hospital, and it's meant to be far kind of more relaxed atmosphere. Kind of, they try to make it feel a bit more.
They try not to make it look like a hospital, basically. In the midwife-led unit, apparently. Will you share pictures and the name of the baby when she is born, or will you be keeping it private? I'll definitely be showing pictures of the baby when she's born.
Yeah, we'll probably
showing the name.
Yeah, we'll definitely be saving it for YouTube though.
Oh yeah.
So you need to be, on this channel and subscribe.
We won't be posting it on Instagram.
No, you guys will know first, don't you worry.
You're our priority. But I think a lot of people are concerned about privacy and whether we're going to be keeping sort of our children off social media, because I know a lot of influencers do choose to do that. That's not something that we're choosing to do at the moment. This channel has always been based around sort of our life. And it's very much still going to be focused on me and James rather than a whole vlog about the children, about our children or about our child. But as our life changes, we will just be vlogging as we do now, but just with our new family members.
I think we will adapt, and whatever we say now might not be true in 5 years' time or whatever. But at the moment, we are going to vlog like normal. The vlogs are still going to be us but then obviously we're going to be with our baby the majority of the time. It's almost like a more extreme version of us and Mila. You know, you see Mila in every vlog, but the vlog isn't about Mila. Our dog. Sorry, Mila's our dog. So I think it's probably going to be like that, isn't it?
Definitely. It is tough to know, and we will take it by ear, and especially when if the child has an opinion of their own, that's completely up to them what they choose to do. If they want to be a YouTuber, they can be a YouTuber. If they want to never have any social media accounts, it's all going to be up to them.
I think also we will need to look into more the kind of safety of being online, and I think seeing as we're online, surely that automatically makes our child more vulnerable. You know, even if we didn't show her online. So I'm not really too sure, like people...
It's a scary one, isn't it? Because there are a lot of other questions about, are we worried about sort of trolling and comments and things like that, and people commenting on your baby or when they're older then being able to see it. And I think as a parent you definitely want to protect your child as much as possible, and it'll definitely hurt and it'll definitely be something that we think about. But also on the other hand as well, I think it is great to protect our children, but I also really want to bring my child up in a world where they know that there's people out there doing that, and I hope they have the same opinion as us, as just be yourself, put yourself out there if you want. There's always going to be people that disagree, there's always going to be people that do this and that.
You can't let people stop, you know, whether our child wants to be an athlete or go to university, go to something more academic, you know, do anything. You can't let other people's opinions kind of stop that, whether that's on a personal level, whether that's friends or extended family, or whether that's people online.
And I think you gain a really good hard backbone from being online sometimes, because you kind of just end up being yourself and saying, if I'm happy to post this and I'm happy to be myself online, then, you know, I don't know, it's a strange one, but at the same time I do think it's hard.
Is that, you know, up until the age that our daughter is understanding of what online actually means, it's not her decision. It's our decision. And that's the difficulty then. It's up to us to choose whether to put our daughter online until she is able to understand and tell us whether she wants to be online or not.
I don't know whether it's just our accounts, but I don't feel trolling very much. I don't feel like there's mass amounts of people out there trolling, and I feel like it's because of Instagram, YouTube, they are taking action, they are reducing the amount, they are keywording comments and taking away people's troll comments before we're even able to see them.
People often comment on our videos like, oh my god, why did you delete my comment? And we don't delete comments.
Didn't even see it.
YouTube has a system where it doesn't post comments that, you know, is racist, sexist, swearing, things like that. So they don't post those comments.
They'll be able to do the
if you want to troll, you have to be clever.
You have to be clever trolls.
So, but also, I think we have chatted about this in the past, and we've never come to any sort of conclusion about, obviously, a lot of family channels do not allow comments.
They do.
And I think I would like to, closer to the time, reach out to kind of those YouTubers and just ask why they decided to do that. Well, it's quite obvious why, but whether something, you know, whether trolls or something that happened might push them to do it, or whether they've done it from the start just for safety.
Yeah, because I know I had a couple of DMs from you guys ever since I got pregnant saying that you really don't want us to do that, and there was a big thing that clearly a lot of family channels do that. For you guys, from the DMs, it was like that it took away that community feel of the channel, and it felt like there was no space to kind of comment and be involved, and I'll miss that as well. Like I don't want to take away the comment section. I really don't want to. So it would have to be really persuasive the one way to be, you know, like, this is really what we need to do kind of thing. But I can't see that being the case.
I think sometimes I do get a little bit anxious of being online and people often knowing where we live and stuff like that. Like, you know, in our old house, just once or twice people came to the house and stuff. And even though it's lovely and like we love that community and we love kind of people taking, you know, so much love and interest in our lives, it does get a bit anxious sometimes. And the bigger we get and the more we grow, I think it's going to be the case that if we do kind of live this life where it's all out in the open, it's whether we need to then take extra measures to protect ourselves at home and to, you know, live in maybe
Well,
and
even
more-
coming to this house, we already got like the most pro security
Yeah,
system
exactly.
ever that like alerts us as soon as a leaf blows near the house. We're like, dun, 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 who's outside?
Mila started barking at something outside the house at like 2 a.m. and I was like on my CCTV cameras trying to spot what it was, and it was a cat.
It was a cat. So we've done a lot of that where it's been
We do.
absolutely nothing.
So we feel, it's funny, isn't it? Like, yeah,
So
we
I feel
put systems
safer.
in place and we do feel considerably safer.
But it does make you think, doesn't it? It's
It does
always
make
going to be
you
hard
think.
being online.
And I'm quite an anxious person when it comes to security and like safety and stuff, so I think of that more than Carys, I think.
I know.
But it is definitely something
Good.
that goes through our heads.
What part of having your baby girl are you most looking forward to? Meeting her would be a good one. The best one.
Yeah, the main one.
The only one. Yeah, meeting her, seeing what she's like, seeing what her personality's
I'm
like.
just so blown excited. It's hard, like, how do you pinpoint that? I'm not too sure how to pinpoint that. I just can't wait for cuddles.
Yeah.
Just to hold her. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Just like have her in my arms. I'll say that for the first few days and then it'll be 3 a.m. and she'll be crying. No, I can't wait. I honestly can't wait for the whole thing.
I'm
And
trying to
just
think of
watching
anything.
her, like I just think I'm going to be one of those parents that's like,
Dressing
how
her.
much we do it with Mila?
Oh, we just stare
Mila
at
does
her.
something cute and we're like, she's not even doing anything, she's breathing, lying on the floor, and we're like, oh my god, isn't she the cutest
Oh my god,
dog
James,
ever?
look at her. Literally younger
I sent Carys, and literally an hour ago, I sent Carys a photo of Mila just sitting on the chair.
I was upstairs
because I thought she looked really cute. Like,
And I
that
thought
is
she
just
looked
a bit
cute.
sad, isn't it?
That was a bit
I can't
sad.
imagine what we're going to be like with an actual human baby.
I know. I'm gonna be like literally like as soon as you leave the house, I'll be FaceTiming you like, oh my god, you just missed her. She did the cutest. And dressing her, I'm really excited. As you guys know, probably, I love clothes and I have a big obsession with clothes. I have reined my clothing obsession in a lot over the past year, but I'm really excited for cute clothes for the baby. So many things anyway that we're looking forward to. What are you hating most about your second trimester? I don't know. I love my second trimester so far.
I think what
Yeah,
with my
go on.
10 pence, what Carys is hating most is the trepidation, not sure if that's the right
What
word,
the heck does that mean?
like the anxiety
Oh yeah.
about your third trimester. And Carys in the
correct.
last few days has been saying
Correct.
things prompted by you guys, which is probably right, about how, you know, we were talking about leaving the nursery until after Christmas and stuff, but she's getting a little bit anxious that from what some of you guys have been saying and stuff, that third trimester you just feel like rubbish and you feel tired and you feel achy.
That's right.
And you feel like you can't do much physical things.
It's because your bump
So-
just gets so huge.
Do the nursery now. So I think that's what you're
Definitely.
hating most, is kind of just the thought of like wasting your second trimester, because then in your third trimester you can't do anything.
That's right. That's probably literally the spot on main thing that I think about really. And I shouldn't think about it like that really, because I think with my first trimester I did have a negative, what did really struggle, and I definitely had a lot of symptoms, but I had a really negative mindset towards it, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, this, blah, 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 it's never going to get better, I'm going to be throwing up till 20 weeks and stuff like that. Whereas when I stopped thinking like that, everything just got better generally, when it was just like, I was still throwing up, but I was like, this is fine, this is how it is now, and it's going to be great, and things got a lot better mentally since then. And again, it was even till recently, so when the gyms closed and everything happened in lockdown, I sort of went into a recluse and I was like, this isn't the pregnancy I wanted, like feeling really negative, and then spoke to James about it and we just sort of decided that I'd try and do some things at home and stuff, and then the last few days I've been working out from home and absolutely loving it. So it's really trying to keep that positive mentality. Whatever happens is absolutely fine, but it's going to be great. It's going to be my pregnancy no matter how it goes, and it's going to be the right pregnancy for me. And it's definitely keeping that into the third trimester, because I'm already having those negative thoughts and I'm already saying I'm going to be too achy, I'm going to be sleeping all day, I'm going to be so, my bump's going to be so huge.
If you believe you're like,
Yeah.
yes, I think it's a difficult
Yeah,
thing.
it is.
Because obviously I don't want to say to you, if you believe you're going to be tired, you're going to be
I
tired.
know.
Because that's like, I don't know how you're feeling.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know personally how important mentality is.
Yeah.
And like, if you end up being too tired to do stuff, you end up being too tired to do stuff. But you don't want to know or assume you're going to be too tired to do stuff.
If
Like,
you're too tired, that's fine, but you don't want to have talked yourself
No.
into being too tired.
you'll wake up on the morning of week 27 and you'll be like, I don't know, I can get out of bed.
Oh my, it's officially my third trimester and I can feel it.
No.
I would love to hear your guys' stories in
Yeah.
your third trimesters. I love hearing about all your
Because
pregnancies.
it's interesting how obviously people who are contacting Carys are people who have struggled in their third trimester, and I wonder if that's very, very common or if actually it's kind of 50-50. Like, did other people, like, did any of you actually, your third trimester, you were like, I was fine. So
I can imagine it's just a shock from going to second to third, because I know second is like the best for
bigger, don't you?
Yeah, you just get heavier.
Yeah.
I like this one. Do you wish you'd bought a more open plan house?
Oh, interesting.
I think people got that because it's interesting where people get things from. I think that's a really good almost assumption / question, because of the fact that obviously we're trying to make this house more open plan with knocking through the door, and originally we were trying to build more of an extension on this kitchen and create more open plan. But the actual question, do I wish I'd bought a more open plan house? It's a good question.
I think the
I just love this house though.
And I think I always go back to, I like to let people, our American friends know and foreign friends, that in the UK, because our houses are quite old, and because we have a very cold climate, all of our rooms are often separated with doorways and stuff, because obviously it's cheaper to heat one room than an entire house, and heating is very expensive. It's difficult, I think, in cities to often find big open plan houses unless they're new builds. Yeah. And we didn't particularly, our personal preference was not to get a new build.
That's true.
And also the space we have here, so like our kitchen diner in here is probably just as big as a kitchen diner you would get in a new build. We were just looking to take that kind of bit extreme extra and have it.
Well, we were trying to make it open plan, make it more flow. This house hasn't got great flow, but it's got so many other characteristics about it that I wouldn't swap for a more open plan house. I wouldn't swap the garden, which we couldn't find in a lot of other houses in this area.
New builds often don't have as big of these gardens, and I think also like Cardiff is for us, for where we came from, an expensive place to live. Yeah. And I know it's a cheap city compared to a lot of places, but it was expensive from where we came from, and kind of the houses that were done up to the 9s that kind of already had these extensions with big open plans, like they just wouldn't have been within our budget. So yeah, this was, I love this house. It's weird, we came into this house and it just gave us that feeling, and ever since I have not had the slightest regret for buying this house. You know, when the extension found out to be too expensive, when things like that happened, I didn't think, when we couldn't do the extension because it was too expensive, I wasn't like,
damn it,
bought the house.
Shouldn't have got this one.
I was just like, okay, move on.
Because all the characteristics of this house that we love, high ceilings, the quirky like old things that are in the house, the like even just the porch, the hall,
how it looks from the front.
I love it all. I love it, love it, love it.
The location was a big one. We love this house to absolute bits. So no, like I don't
wish we'd got a more
open plan house.
I mean, I wish this house
we could make
was exactly the same and more open. And in a future house, because this isn't necessarily going to be our forever home, we would look for a more, we clearly want open plan plus those little quirky characteristics. So if you can get both, we definitely know that we would like a more open plan house in the future.
We always say that we kind of semi-wish there had been no extension on this house. Yeah, and we would have put one on ourselves. That would have made it more open plan rather than kind of a separate kitchen area. But that's just one of those.
We just love it. What are you most excited to do when the Welsh lockdown's over?
Ooh. So we have actually decided, because we're having our kitchen extension done, our kitchen refit done. Yeah. Once the lockdown's over, we are going to go on a Welsh driving tour in our new car, which is very exciting. We're not taking Mila. We've decided that we will drop Mila to my parents for a week away. Yeah. And we are then going to go driving. We're going to do a full circular. We're going to go West Wales, up to Snowdonia.
You guys will be coming with us.
Down through the centre. Any ideas, guys, on where we should stay, specific hotels or locations, feel free to comment below. We have asked in the previous vlog, but I will ask again. We're
just hopefully going to make the most of the lockdown being over for a little bit.
Welsh hospitality sector.
Doing our bit. Support them. Does the baby kick much? Oh my god, that was such an interview. Okay, next question. Does the baby kick much? No, not yet. Yes, in my tummy, but I can't feel her yet. In the last scan, they showed me that I had an anterior placenta, which is a placenta at the front of my tummy. So all her kicks and punches are hitting my placenta, and it just makes it a little bit harder for me to feel her. So I'm nearly 19 weeks. By the time you see this, I think I'll be over 19 weeks. And I think I'll start feeling them about 24 weeks. So that's still a bit of a while away. Which makes me sad, but also...
At the moment, we don't think the front placenta will cause an issue. It's something to do with if it drops down, it may. If it stays up,
good knowledge.
It won't. So we'll keep you updated if there is any change on that.
Good knowledge.
But at the moment, we're happy that it won't.
Listening to the doc. weren't you?
I was. I was looking after my two girls.
Do you still have sex whilst pregnant? I'm not sure how it works.
Is she not sure how sex works?
I know, I was going to say it works exactly the same. But we had so many questions on this. Some were just like asking, do we still have sex whilst I'm pregnant? And some were just like almost, because the box is so small you can't write much. But they were trying to share their stories saying that they really struggled or their husband struggled whilst they were pregnant to have sex. And honestly, it's not something I thought about before I was pregnant. Like I never thought about it.
I thought about.
But actually, it's such a big thing, and I can imagine it's a really big thing for a lot of couples. If you feel comfortable, I would love to hear your experiences below. But for the woman, it's strange because obviously you're growing this bump, and obviously 24 hours of the day, you're like, my baby's in there, my baby's in there. But then say I'm having a lovely time with James in the bedroom, I'm looking at James and he hasn't changed. So I can just forget I'm pregnant, it doesn't kind of come into my mind because there is that weird thing between like having sex and also your baby's right there. And I'm looking at James, nothing's different for James, but he's looking at me and I got this the massive bump in his face. So it must be strange for the guy. It's not that big yet, it's gonna get bigger.
Yeah, like I struggled the first couple of times. Actually, I didn't struggle the first couple of times, but kind of when it got more serious that you were pregnant, I struggled a couple of times.
When you could see it.
I think it obviously wasn't how you looked or anything, but it was just the knowledge that and I kept on watching Carys giving birth, which was just so bad. And I was like, this isn't really what I want to be envisioning while this is happening.
And James was saying that, and I was like, how could you not? Like, that's actually so true, though.
I'm over it now. I am over it, but like for the first couple of times, I did struggle. It was weird. Without going into detail, it was weird.
And I think a lot of, I have read online, I knew it already. As soon as James told me that, I was like, I did read like on some random forum, because I'm literally always on pregnancy forums, ages ago, that men do really struggle.
I think it's a 50-50 thing. I think some men, it's a bit of a fetish for some men, isn't it?
I've heard that.
Yeah, but I don't know what the proportions are. I don't know how many men. Like, obviously some men it probably won't affect at all. Some men have a bit of a fetish about it. And some, maybe slightly put off.
Yeah.
I've obviously overcome it, but I was in the slightly put off category. So,
and I think
wonder what it's like.
I think something that changed for us, probably, which is how we've more overcome it, is I think our focus became, when like there's like two types of sex. One where you're like trying to be a bit kinky, and then one where you're just like, sort of passionate.
The detail is real.
When you're trying to be a bit more like passionate and like you're just enjoying each other's company and being in love. And that's more the sex that I think we enjoy during this time, just because it's more about, I don't know, it feels weird for me even so, like being cheeky or being like that whilst I'm pregnant. That's probably different for everyone as well.
Yeah.
I just prefer just loving up James and being in love in that way.
I think that's what changed, wasn't it? And I think that kind of
helped.
works far better. It's more that kind of romantic stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Making love. Okay. Do you think Mila can sense that you're pregnant? Is she acting different? We always finish our food way too early.
I'm going to go for no. I honestly don't think Mila knows you're pregnant.
I don't think she does either. Like,
she's useless. Either that or like she just hates the fact Carys is pregnant. Because I think more than ever she's like trying to jump on Carys' stomach. She would be lying in bed and rather than like jump up where we're not lying, she'll jump up onto Carys.
On my tummy, and we're like, no! No, Mila! No, she hasn't acted any different. Like, she's always been a soppy dog, so yes, she's super soppy and like...
She always lay on us.
She sleeps on my belly and stuff like that. I think when dogs sort of mainly realise, correct me if I'm wrong, is when the baby starts kicking and moving and they can sense that and they realise that there's something.
Slightly trained dogs, so like obviously you can get sniffer dogs for like cancer and stuff. I do think if you're a well-trained dog, I don't know.
They're all meant to smell it though.
Mila can't even smell the ball when it's like here, she'll be looking for her ball in the grass, smell it, and she'll go...
Got no sense
she
of
honestly
smell.
has no sense of smell. Like she will smell over her ball. Like so, I just don't think. Maybe her nose is blocked all the time. Maybe she's just got a continuous cold.
You've got a cold.
I'm not sure.
When are you starting the nursery? Good question. We were discussing it again last night.
I think it's probably actually going to be something that we start looking into now and start seeing what we actually want to get for the nursery.
Yeah.
And taking it from there. We were going to wait until after Christmas, but now. Getting a bit of itchy feet about whether Carys will feel up to it in her third trimester, like we said earlier. So let us know below on that. Saying that though, like Carys probably wouldn't help with the flat pack even now. So I'm not really too sure if it'll make a difference. Carys just sitting there go.
I think we'll prep it all and then just like put it all together in a vlog and do all the vlogs about it in January. But like start thinking and prepping for it now, just so it's less pressure and we've got it all what we want.
I think earlier on in the year, I was determined not to do it, mainly because I wanted 2 guest rooms for Christmas.
Oh.
And I thought, oh, well, when we have like friends over,
practical.
so like we can have friends over, have a few drinks, they can stay the night. And obviously, the further the year's gone on, we realised that ain't happening due to COVID. So we may as well do it before Christmas.
Sir.
But yeah, that was the main reason early on that I was like, I don't want to do it. Because I thought we may as well keep 2 guest rooms for after Christmas, for Christmas time, and then do it. But what's the point now in 2 guest rooms when no one can stay anyway? So let's just do it.
You're so practical.
Thank you.
Can you tell us any baby names you've had in mind but have decided not to go for? I thought we could give one name that we've had, because we are going to do a video on a range of baby names that we loved but we're not going to go for. I thought we could maybe give one name that we liked to, you know, teaser.
What name do you want to give?
We've decided on one of the names we're going to tell you. So we really liked the name Madison, but we won't be using it this time. Or
That's
maybe.
it. Yeah, we kind of now, at the moment we're going into this, we have a top 2 names.
Yeah, we do.
We can't help it. Obviously, a lot of people's opinions is to wait until the baby's born, and we are really trying hard to wait until the baby's born, but we are also quite fixated on a name.
We are.
So it's one of those that we're not telling anyone, we're keeping it completely to ourselves.
Yes.
And as long as, you know, the baby's born and we're not like, wow, she doesn't look like a her.
Yeah.
Then, but like, babies are babies, are they? Do they look like things?
No, and I think you can just go with whatever name you fancy, to be honest, if it feels right for you. But yeah, really, quite early on, we really liked the name Madison. It was definitely one of our top, and you know, just James, Carys and Madison was quite a nice mix, but we found 2 others that we loved.
We still do like it, but at the moment
love it.
I think we're going for one of the 2 others.
Yeah.
More specifically one, but we're not telling you either of the 2 because they're quite close competitors.
Dun dun dun! This is the last question. Do you think you'd ever go back to working a 9 to 5?
So neither of us ever worked a 9 to 5.
We have. We did Hugh James. We did like a solicitor admin thing.
Yeah, that was just a summer work though, was it?
Yeah, no, we've never worked a proper 9 to 5 job.
No.
We've always had part-time jobs and done random stuff like that, but we've never actually had
full week. I was used to work in Waitrose, Friday nights, all day Saturday and all day Sunday.
I love working
during her senior school.
I've always had a job. I love working.
And I went on and off, but nowhere near as much as Carys.
I think it's funny when you think people think. I don't know if this is general, but I seem to, with when you do assumptions and when you do stuff, I think people sort of bracket influencers as quite lazy. When actually, I love working, and no matter what I'm doing, I've always been like an obsessive worker. So when I wasn't working on the weekends, I had a supermarket job that took up the whole weekend. I love working. I love being busy, and that's the same as an influencer.
Yeah, Carys was one of those people that would wake up at 4 a.m. to go to her gymnastics training and then, you know, go to work after school in a sports shop and then get home at 10 p.m. and do it all again the next day.
I love it!
Absolutely mental.
I just love it. I love it, honestly.
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't
do.
be able to stomach that.
And I get just as much thrill, more from being self-employed and having but it's not any less work. It's more flexible hours, and we do stuff like this, which is like the best thing ever to class as part of your job. But there's also loads of behind the scenes, which are like, you know, more worky and admin and stressful to an extent. But yeah, this is just the best job ever, and I would really struggle to go back to a 9 to 5, definitely. 9 to 5s are enticing in some way, because obviously you finish at 5, you go home, and you may have more distance from your job. It's different for every job. I know lots of people bring their jobs home for different reasons. But you do have that thing of sort of being able to take annual leave or being able to leave your job entirely, whereas I feel like this never ever stops, and that's a choice because we've chosen to do this job, and it's...
Well, it's like any kind of like self-employed person or new business owner that's trying to like grow their company or grow their business. It's just always on your mind, and if it's not, you feel like you're failing at yourself and you're failing the business.
That's right.
Because like how can it not be on your mind when it's your life? And ultimately, when you own it or when you're just self-employed, it's all up to you. So it's not like when you go to business, even if you're quite high up, you kind of take a small section of that business. When, you know, like, we can make a decision like that and implement it tomorrow, just Carys and I, we don't need to discuss with anyone else.
And then, like, if we choose to take a week off, like, it will negatively affect the business. So it's having that on your shoulders when you do just choose
if
to
we take a
time
week off and don't upload for a week videos, or don't like do whatever, like not only is it completely, you know, destroying our income for the week, but it's also
it does negatively
impact long-term growth and long-term kind of work.
Yeah, but wouldn't change this job for the freaking world.
Not.
Grateful every single day without sounding too completely cheesy.
I'm so grateful.
I'm blessed every day. I do feel grateful every single day to have this job. I mean, it was my ultimate dream job. I know James has more so grown.
I tag along. I'm like, coming. No, I do love it. You've
also grown to love it.
Grown to love it. Like, that's a good word, and you beat me to it. Yeah.
Our socials and everything have changed over time to be more specific to exactly what we want to post about. And so where we are now is just like the dream of where we've always wanted to be. And honestly, it's all down to you guys. So thank you so much. Literally, without you watching our videos, we wouldn't be able to do this job, which is just makes us so freaking happy. I feel like being really cheesy.
Being able to live the life we live is just mental, isn't it?
Yeah, we're so grateful.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's amazing. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm full.
What a last question.
It was a good last question. Intense, but I thought we needed some non-pregnancy questions.
We did.
So I try and, you know,
well,
get some
someone
in.
asked how old we were when we met. Maybe we should.
No, they didn't.
I don't know. Yeah, it was just in the background. I don't know if you guys would be interested in doing like soon, like a back to basics Q&A, because we have kind of accumulated a few newer followers over the last few months. I don't know how many of you guys have kind of stuck around since the initial pregnancy videos, but if anyone was interested to do like a back to the beginning, and we could do more of a Q&A about our relationship
how
and stuff, and kind of go back, because I know loads of you guys would have heard that loads. But if anyone is interested to kind of go back, then if there's enough interest, you could always do something like that. We always think it would be super boring.
It will be for so many of you probably, like that I've heard the stories over and over. But then I always it's nice for newer subscribers to know a bit more. Let us know. I like that idea, James. Very good. We're coming up with content as well.
I'm becoming made for this.
You're made for this career. Oh my god, my legs are gone dead because I'm sat on them. Thank you guys
so much for watching. Please give the video like if you did enjoy. Leave your comments below on kind of what we were asking you throughout the video. Subscribe if you're new and turn your notifications on. We'll see you soon. Have a good one.
Bump date. Food baby. Bye. Love you so much. Bye. Bye.